Hello and welcome. Let's get you the top story. It's all coming in from Pakistan. Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan, in a rapid turn of events today, asked the president to dissolve the National Assembly and then announced fresh elections after the last-minute dismissal of the no trust motion. The matter will now be heard by the Supreme Court. In a short address to the nation a little while ago, Imran Khan asked the people of Pakistan to get ready for elections. The conspiracy to take down this government has collapsed, he said. The assembly has been dissolved. The elections are now going to be held in 90 days. The Pakistan's opposition is not pleased. They are now staging a dharna in the assembly, and they say that will be the case until the no trust vote is actually held. The opposition front in Pakistan says that they are going to be staging a sit-in at the National Assembly till this no trust vote against Imran Khan's government is held. The Pakistan People's Party leader Bilawal Bhutto Zardari has said this, taking to Twitter. The Deputy Speaker of Pakistan's National Assembly rejected this no. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari saying that the Imran Khan government has violated Pakistan's constitution. All right, let's get you more in Islamabad. There have been protests taking place outside in support of Imran Khan, saying that he will save Pakistan, that whoever is America's friend is a traitor. That sloganeering has been heard outside Pakistan's parliament. This after the National Assembly of Pakistan was dissolved this afternoon. Remember, in the days leading up to the no trust vote, Mr. Khan had alleged a foreign conspiracy to topple his government. He has been accusing the United States of meddling in Pakistan's affairs. He has been alleging that the opposition was conspiring with Washington to remove him because he would not take the side of the US and Europe on global issues against Russia and China. All right, for more on this, we have Dilip Sinha, former ambassador, former joint secretary, the MEA in charge of Pakistan. Thank you for your time, Mr. Sinha. Amit Barua, resident editor of The Hindu. Imtiaz Gul, senior journalist from Pakistan, joining us. And we have Brigadier Vinod Datta, retired Brigadier Vinod Datta, former Deputy Assistant Chief of the IDS at the Ministry of Defence. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us. So first and foremost, Dilip Sinha, let's go across to you. What do you make of this twist, these twists and turns that we've seen in the last 3-4 hours, really, this whole day? Imran Khan had always been saying that he had more up his sleeve. So should anyone really have been surprised?
Well, yes, I think one was surprised by this because this really called for a very abrasive action. And Imran Khan has introduced a new constitutional principle in Pakistan, where many constitutional principles have been invented. And this is a very innovative piece of skullduggery, where a no confidence vote after it's been tabled in the House is dismissed by the Speaker as being violative of the Constitution. And he cites a very fundamental article, Article 5, which calls upon every citizen to be loyal to the state and to be loyal to the Constitution. So anybody who introduces anything against the government is treated as being against the state and against the Constitution. This is a particular problem that many rulers in countries start facing, that they equate themselves with the state and with the Constitution. And that's what Imran Khan is trying to do here. And I think he's also trying to play upon the deep-seated anti-Americanism that has been cultivated in Pakistan over the years, so that he can play upon those sentiments of the people and garner support.
So, Imtiaz Gul, take that forward, please. You're joining us from Pakistan. Clearly, Imran Khan is hoping that he will benefit from this wave of public sympathy as a leader standing up for an independent Pakistan rather than one who's beholden to America, as Dilip Sinha has has just pointed out. He's looking one step ahead. He's been in power in a minority government with the support of allies. He's saying the next elections he wants to come in, with all the numbers.
Did you ask me?
Yep. Imtiaz, go to you.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. What was the question? Your voice is coming and
Imtiaz,
going.
is Imran Khan, has he come out on top in this latest chapter? Because he is trying to portray himself as a leader who is leading an independent Pakistan rather than one that is beholden to America. That is a narrative that will go down well with the masses in Pakistan, because he has his eyes on the next elections where he wants to come to power on his own.
Well, I think he's very much crafted that narrative very successfully. And I think the entire crisis that he faces right now is rooted in the so-called that infamous cable from Washington by our ambassador following a meeting with U.S. officials. And official at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs described that meeting as very, very harsh, very unusual, in which they basically conditioned improvement of relations with the exit of Imran Khan through a vote of no confidence. So that is quite intriguing. That's why the government has invoked Article 5A, which basically requires every institution and every citizen of this country to be loyal to the state. So the government has built its entire case rooted in that cable from our ambassador. And coincidentally, the cable arrived here on the 7th based on a meeting a few hours earlier, and the vote of no confidence was tabled on the 8th of March. So this is how the government has built up its case. Also, the Prime Minister has explained that because of the OIC Foreign Ministers Conference, the government kept quiet and decided to go public with a letter or with a cable only after that. So as a whole, he has been able, I guess, if you look at the reactions on Twitter among the masses, that he has convinced somehow the public that there was a conspiracy from abroad to dislodge his government, basically designed to change regime with the help of the opposition, which comprises people who otherwise have been at each other's throat, but right now have joined hands to see the back of Imran Khan.
All right, so don't rule him out yet. It's not over until the last ball is bowled, basically. But Amit Barua, a resident editor of The Hindu, Imran Khan was widely regarded to have come to power, of course, with the help of Pakistan's army. But clearly it seems like there's been a falling out, which they both, of course, are denying.
Well, yeah, I think there has been a falling out. And as you know, Sarah, last year, Imran Khan wanted the incumbent ISI chief to continue. But General Qamar Javed Bajwa, the army chief, wanted a different person to be appointed.
Yes.
And there were some, very public differences, in those few weeks. And things were never really the same after that. Perhaps there's been a previous genesis to this also. And we all know that, previous prime ministers have also had problems with army chiefs. So in that sense, though there's many differences, Imran Khan also stands, along with the rest of the opposition, including Nawaz Sharif and others who have suffered at the hands of the army. So it is actually quite an intriguing situation in Pakistan that the parliamentary route was being used to unseat a government. And now we have the deputy speaker's ruling, which in a sense disallowed the vote of no confidence. And you know that there are, you've been showing visuals of how people are sitting in dharna or having their own vote. And the matter has now gone to the Supreme Court to decide on this. So I think that, Pakistan continues to make big news. And this Sunday, I think they've had their fair share of news. So I think that whatever happens, and as Imtiaz was telling you a little while ago, there is no doubt that Prime Minister Imran Khan has proved himself to be a crafty politician, and he has, in a sense, set up his campaign well. and he knows his talking points as he goes into battle in elections, whether they happen now or they happen a few months later. It's quite clear that Imran Khan knows where he's standing and what are the strings he's going to pull among the people.
Absolutely. Well, and as it is in India, often you can't have an election without invoking Pakistan. It seems that's the case in Pakistan too. Brigadier Vinod Datta, over this weekend, we've heard Pakistan's army chief talking about how, discussions with India, issues with India should be settled via dialogue. That, of course, cannot be taken, that statement, without putting it into context of what was happening on the ground in Pakistan.
That statement of the army chief came as pretty surprise because in Pakistan there are three verticals which are very, very important, and they are army, terrorism, and CPEC. Because without Kashmir card, there is no siyasat, there is no politics which can be complete, because the army's existence depends on the Kashmir card which they play.
Absolutely.
Secondly, you see the extension which has been given by Imran Khan to Qamar Bajwa was also under duress. Imran was not in favor, but he was pushed to the wall and it was to be given. Another important step which the honorable editor from the Hindu had very rightly brought out is the appointment of ISI chief, because ISI is also part of Troika as far as Pakistan is concerned.
Yes.
Because Imran never wanted the present ISI chief,
Yes.
Lieutenant General, Anjum.
He refused to sign off on the appointment. Yes.
But again, he had no choice, and he was asked that yes, you have to sign on these dotted lines, and he's the fourth, ISI or the general from Punjab regiment to be holding this. Now, Bilawal Bhutto, the way he's beating the drums and all, I mean, he has no right. His own grandfather, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, was the first one to politicize the ISI. He added that political cell.
It's like a vicious cycle. It never seems to end. The script always somehow seems the same. So thank you, all of you, for joining us with your views right now.